And there's some methodologies, some strategies, some helpful tips that you guys can use in there. Okay. So those are our books of the weeks that we've covered in the last two episodes. And again, stay tuned. We're going to have plenty of more book of the week topics, titles and topics. And we'll provide some insight and give you guys some helpful information on how to use these books and why it's important to have these kind of resources to help with continuous improvement and development within what you're doing in your business. So let's get to some simple questions. I did have a question. What are some of the to learn? Continuously learn. Won't take up too much time. Taking up too much time. That was kind of the question that was posed, right? Time. That's a relevant statement based off of the time that you have available, right? So, for example, I always a habit that I've always done over the years. For example, using a book, 300 pages, you divide 300 by 30, whatever that number is, and those are the pages that you dedicated to reading every day. Now, you may not be able to get to it every day, but at least if you have those pages, you know what your commitment level is, right? So again, 30 days in a month, divide that whatever number of pages by 30. And if your frequency is twice a week, then go do it, split that in half, right? If it's 3 times a week, divide that by that number, that lower number, by 3, and then make sure you stay committed to it. I guess the goal is if we can improve 1% a day, we'll do okay by the end of the year. 0.5% a day, we'll do okay by the end of the year, right? And so this applies to personal development, which rolls into business development, right? Another question is, it's the end of the year. How can I improve my tax situation? So I'm not going to go heavy into that. My question to this question, you don't ask a question, you don't answer a question with a question, right, Corey? I know, but I'm going to ask the question. The question is, or the answer to that question in a question form is, have you spoken to a tax advisor? Have you? That's the answer to that question with a question, right? And so hopefully that should take place. If it hasn't take place, let's take place now. We have a special guest here. let's get him in. Let's get him in the room real quick. Let's show some love to our infamous one, James.
Yo, what up? What up?
Heyward.
What up? What up? What up? I'm in the building.
Yeah, what up? What up? What up? How you
Yeah,
doing, my brother?
yeah. I'm out here on these holiday roads, man. You know,
I
literally
see you.
driving,
I see you.
literally. You know what I'm saying?
See you.
But
I see you.
happy,
Just be
happy
safe out there
Thanksgiving.
in those streets.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah, yeah.
too.
Well, yeah. I mean, we're gonna be safe out here. Right now, it's pretty safe. But if our
Right.
conversation gets in depth, and I pull over, I got the
Start
reserve
weaving
driver
all over
here.
the road.
Yeah, start wilding out. Yeah, so yeah, it's all good though. We here, don't you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
So I see you in
for sure.
tax mode. You talking taxes?
Oh, I was
You,
just covering some questions, right? I had
oh, no
two
doubt.
questions, so I just wanted to answer those questions.
Oh, okay.
But for the most part, I was just recapping on our book of the week for the last two episodes, right?
Oh
And
yeah,
then
yeah.
just yeah. And then there was a question on how to improve, how to self improve, right?
Hmm.
And in accordance with time. That won't take a lot of time. And I'm like, that's time is relative. So I took the example of taking a book, 300 pages, divide that by 30 days, read a book a day. Or if it's twice a week, divide it by 2. That lower number by 2, or 3 times a week, you divide it by 3, right? So time is relative to what you want to put in and participate for your own improvement.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, yeah. But also the time wasters. We waste a lot of time.
We do. We do.
Yeah. Just wasting a lot of
We do.
time.
We do. We do. And excuses too, right? So I mean,
Yeah, yeah, well, yeah. But I mean, in the spirit of holidayness, it's hard to be on 24/7, 365. So it's almost
absolutely.
like, almost like you gotta plan your wasting time too. I mean, you don't waste time.
Schedule
I mean, it's fun. Yeah, schedule it. Like, I'm just gonna be on something else for an hour a day. I'm just, doing whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm just doing foolish stuff like that. That way, it's allocated. So you're not like,
Correct.
that. You know, one of the big things with time is um playing yourself that you're gonna knock down like 15 things in a day. It's not gonna
Yeah.
happen.
No.
Not not even close. Not gonna happen.
No,
So,
not even.
oh,
Not to-do list.
yeah, yeah, man. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Which, oh, they're not a sponsor though, but yeah, I use Todoist as a tool. I actually just optimize my Todoist. It's kind of dope.
Really.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
they're not a
yeah, yeah.
sponsor for me, but I use Asana, right?
Hmm.
So it helps out a lot.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but
It
whatever, I
is
mean,
it's
whatever tool you use, just use it, right?
pen and
It
paper.
helps.
Yeah,
That
it
too.
doesn't matter.
But but see, you could walk away from the pen and the paper. If you have your phone with you, it's on your phone. It'll send you a reminder if you allow the notifications to pop off, right?
Yeah, but sometimes even with the phone though, then it becomes too much though, because
True.
then you start getting into like, you like, so it doesn't work exactly right, and then next thing you know, you got 3 apps that do the same thing, and none of them do exactly what you want them to do. So now you
Correct.
just all over. Not that that's ever happened to
Correct.
me. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Well, that's why I use one. That's why I use one app.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Get your app,
Asana.
stick
That's
with it,
it.
stick with it.
Yeah.
Productivity is there. Oh, okay. So yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just coming in. I'm like the person that's late for dinner. Show up.
Nah, man, you
Just,
listen, you're fine, man. You come in and just start spinning off, right? Time is
yeah.
only it's our day, right? And we just giving
Mm-hmm.
we sharing our time to the people.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt, no doubt, no doubt, no doubt. So yeah,
You know
very
what I
good.
mean?
So yeah,
So I okay. So I was saying, so I wasn't going to go with a book of the week this week,
okay.
right? I'm going with, and these are not a sponsor at all either. Harvard Business School has some free online courses, right? And so why it's showing me it's not giving it to me in the color I need it to. Let's see. All right, I'll check on that in a moment. Don't worry, I'll get back to us, folks. But Harvard Business School free online courses, right? So
Hmm.
you want to improve your understanding about some things. Jump on the free online courses, right? You got other online courses that are offering like up to 80-90% discount on classes online, self-paced, and you take your time with it, right? And learn something, you know.
Hmm.
Uh,
Hmm.
the more you learn, drop that L, the more you earn, right? Corny cliche, but it's so true. It's a simplest principle that sometimes we overlook, but some of the things that they talk about in here is like resilient leadership,
Mm.
um,
Mm.
right? Communicating customer value, right?
Hmm.
Negotiate cost, understanding
Hmm.
the customer needs, right? These are all important to the growth and development of your business, right? And the viability and the LTV, right? Um, like what is the LTV? Lifetime value. Okay. Pricing strategies, right? making the business case for purpose. So those are some of the topics. Then they also talk about, you know, for those that don't feel comfortable with technology, you have some introduction to AI, machine learning, and AI, and how those things correspond to AI automation, right? Artificial intelligence, which is not going away.